Welcome, trainers, to the Pokemon Unite Championship Series Asia Pacific March Cup Finals. My name is JJ, and I'll be with you throughout the series of our Grand Finals. With me is Nitera from Singapore, joining us on the table.
That is right. That is right. Nice to meet you once again, JJ. I mean, it's been a while, but we're back here with Asia Pacific March Finals. A little bit late for its time, but we're here where we got it. We got it.
I mean, we haven't seen anything of Asia and OCE as well, Oceania as well. Since February, but now we were able to uncover a recording, of the March Cup Finals. Although we do apologize as well that it has been quite a long time. We've had the AOS Cup last chance qualifiers, and we are now proceeding to the AOS Cup in May as well. But it's better late than never, right?
Better late than never. Lots of hard work excavating the videos out, piecing it back together bit by bit from whatever information we had, and we finally have something substantial to give to the Pokemon Unite community, and that's all of you out there watching right now. So, of course, this is going to be quite an interesting game. I don't know if we want to spoil the teams yet. JJ, do you want to do that real quick? Or do you want to just keep it for that?
I mean, they're going to be finding it out anyway, so our grand finalists for by the way, we forgot to mention, right, this is only going to be the grand finals of the said tournament, right? So of the March Cup finals. So it's going to be Renaissance from Singapore versus Reech Pokemon from the Philippines. Really huge powerhouses from each of the regions that we just mentioned, Singapore and Philippines respectively.
So I can't wait to see how this is going to work out. But take a seat, grab your drinks, grab your snacks. We're going to have a ride of a time coming into this grand finals. Reech Pokemon and, of course, Renaissance are both no teams to slouch at. So let's get ready for it.
All right, but before we head into a match, right? Before we head into their matches, let's give them a little bit of a juice, a little bit of a juice of what happened, for the February Cup and, of course, of the March Cup, just so we can, give them a little bit of, a taste of what happened before they got into this, to this stage of the tournament.
Right. So, do you want to run us through anything first before I take it over?
Nah, go ahead. Come on. Do it.
All right. I'll do it first then. February Cup, that was the one before March. And what do we have coming into that? That's how months work.
It's not like February. Then it's April, dude. Come on.
Okay, February Cup, we had the team of Divinity versus Renaissance for the grand final. So that Renaissance is no slouch, right? They've gone into the grand finals at least once in one of the monthly series, and that's really strong. However, we had Reech Pokemon get into the the finals, right? So the top 8, and unfortunately fell right there. They got a 0-2 immediately on their first game, and they were on the loser bracket as well, and dropped out. So that was very unfortunate. And one of those losses was from the team of Divinity, which is the team that Renaissance fought. So
last grand finals of the February Cup, right?
Exactly. So what do you have for March?
Right, for March, Renaissance came back stronger and is now currently, as part of the grand finals against Reech Pokemon. And obviously, Reech Pokemon as well came back stronger as well, because they got dropped out immediately after getting into the finals of the February Cup, but this time they are now up into the grand finals. But funnily enough, Reech Pokemon and Renaissance actually met on the upper bracket of the tournament, where it was Renaissance who actually won against Reech Pokemon and brought them to the lower brackets. But of course, they didn't stop there. Reech Pokemon didn't let that become of a reason for them to lose, as they crawled their way up into the grand finals again against Renaissance.
So what I'm hearing you say is that this is a round 2 with Renaissance versus Reech Pokemon, and they're hoping to take back what is rightfully theirs. They're really reaching for this win here.
I see what you did there.
Yes.
I see what you did
I'm
there.
glad you saw.
Alright. So, without further ado, I know you guys have been waiting for quite some time now. We said...
minutes.
46 minutes, because we said we're going to be doing it like 11 a.m. PST, 2 a.m. GMT plus 8 hour time, so it's about more or less 3 a.m. here. But without further ado, let's head into that of the first match. So here we go. Of course, it's going to be Reech Pokemon versus Renaissance.
I do believe we're looking on the side of Reach Pokemon being on purple and Renaissance being on the orange. So that's left for Reach Pokemon, right for Renaissance. You know, very fitting. And composition-wise, looking very solid from both ends. We have Lucario and the Absol, who will probably be facing off each other, and Duraludon into the central area. Now, all that said and done, JJ, what do you have for us for the rest of the composition?
You know, it's actually pretty interesting because like both of these teams are running a double supporter, especially that Hoopa was the newest addition in this during the time that this tournament was that happened, and Hoopa really gave us a lot of ability under games, essentially with the hyperspace hole as well. Definitely change the pace of the game, not just of this game specific, but like the entirety of the meta.
Right, hyperspace hole allowing you to teleport to the other side of the map, so to speak, the other path. So if you're in top path and you had a hyperspace hole, you go to the bottom path. So there's a lot of things, you could do just by rotating like that. But right here, we do see a very aggressive play coming in on the side of Reach Pokemon, trying to snatch whatever Ordinals they can. It doesn't look like they do get anything though, so that's a bit unfortunate for them.
Right. And just with that, just have to add up as well that, previously before Hoopa came in, you have to, the moment that the timer reaches 7 minutes 30 seconds, you have to go down because you'd want to prioritize that Dreadnought. But this time it doesn't even matter if you're late, because with that hyperspace hole you can immediately just go down. But going into that other top lane, we're gonna be seeing the first bees here gonna be taken mostly by Renaissance, quite interestingly as well, because Reach Pokemon was the one that had the lead, had the aggression into that of the early game from the bottom lane, but in the top lane it looks like they're losing a bit.
And with that being said, though, the fight is ensuing. Reebonks is trying to go on to them, but hyperspace hole, like we're talking about, saves them just by a nick right there.
Right, by nick of a hair, right? But yeah. But aside from that, it's still early for us to say, especially that with the Hoopas, we're essentially giving a huge spotlight here for Hoopa, because we are going to be definitely seeing a lot of teleportation here, going back from the base, if not going from the top path to the bottom path, right? Just so they can recover their health and perhaps change up their gameplay as well. Have a little bit of a retreat and to go back and get back to their opponents. But here we go, we are going to be seeing them trying to go down right now, just so they can have the positional advantage into that of our objectives. But going instead of the top lane, Kai is going to be seen here by Rebongs. They're going to be able to take it down. Cameru and Rebongs going to be 2v1ing that Hoopa, going to be able to take it down. But here comes JT, going to try to attack here, trying to retaliate, and they're going to be able to take down Rebongs with that of the Absol.
You think in a 2v1 situation, it was definitely into the advantage of Renaissance, but looks like Reach Pokemon and that tier 1 Gold Zone had the upper hand.
Yeah, it's actually quite fascinating to see as well, It's not like... and I mean, we know for a fact that Lucario is a pretty good top laner and could actually hold itself up, but not that much, because we all know for a fact that Duraludon wasn't nerfed during this time. But going over, we're going to be seeing the Dreadnought here going to be taken out by the team of Renaissance, and they're going to be able to take down 1-for-1 trade here for both of the teams. We're going to be seeing another action here, Unite move into that of the amazing Duraludon, but of course Dragon Pulse is going to be used as well, going to be able to take down one more. But at the very least for Reach Pokemon, not everyone is taken out, not allowing Renaissance to get the Dreadnought and take them all out. But they want to back out a little bit for now, because it's really, it's definitely super risky right now if they force this in to Renaissance.
Yeah, now all they need to do is just go back to the Rotom here and just try and secure the objective, because all they had to do for that fight was just force down the Dreadnought. Being that they are level 9, they could force the revolving runes from Duraludon to get the buddy barrier and turn the fight around, which is fantastic. But looking at the fight over here, JJ, you want to take it away?
You have to ask me. Of course, I would like to have that Dragon Pulse is going to be used to take down that Rotom. So it is going to be RP taking out the first Rotom of the fight. But look at Renaissance right now trying to do their best to push Reech Pokemon away so that this Rotom is not going anywhere, not going to be going inside their score goals into that other top path. And right now they're doing a pretty good job, you know, repelling that Rotom away and not allowing Reech Pokemon to get in even when they want to get in. You know, like they want to force themselves into that other top lane. They would want to, you know, they want to get in, destroy the first score goal, and perhaps, you know, put in a little bit of points because they still don't have any points there. But they're having a really hard time, and Renaissance is really good at defending this.
Yeah, but when you're saying all that, you know, Cassis, right? They do deposit in the 30 points into the top path here, and they were able to secure themselves just a little bit more EXP for this next skirmish.
Oh wow, Revolving Ring is going to be used here. Bliss Assistance, Verdant Anger, and there goes Ring Samba is going to be used as well. Hyperface Fury again to knock up some Pokemon here. There goes the Blissey as well. That's going to be 2 down. They'll make the 3 down for Renaissance. It's going to be 2 for 1, 2 for 3 trade in favor of Reech Pokemon. Let's find out who's going to be able to take in the Dreadnought right now. Yang trying to survive here, but not going to be able to at all. And there we go. It looks like Reech Pokemon is going to be able to secure this Dreadnought, but there goes a reset. I think we're going to be seeing, you know, some follow-up of the skirmish. Yeah, exactly. Anti right now trying to get in with a safeguard as well, but Maeve was not going to be able to bring their team at the right time, allowing Reech Pokemon to take that Dreadnought. And I like how they're disengaging right now. You know, never mind. They're not disengaging. Rolling Orange is going to be used here. They're going to be able to take down 2 into the side of Renaissance, but at the same time, at the cost of what? Of 3 Pokemon, of 3 players up their side. I think that's not a pretty good trade.
You know, it was all from the initial fight when they both used revolving roots on both ends of Duraludon. The first thing I saw, Renaissance Duraludon Kamiru was cancelled, and they were able to retake the fight due to the Dreadnought resetting. That was a very fantastic play coming in from there. They knew that they could take the fight, and they forced it in for a nice body deposit into the bottom path.
Right. I mean, at that point, you know, like the moment that Reech Pokemon got the Dreadnought, I think it would have been better, at least for me, you know, for them to just disengage instead of like forcing themselves to, you know, try to take out Renaissance. Because look at what happened when they forced it in. You know, they already got the Dreadnought. You don't want to give your opponents the XP that you just got from the Dreadnought.
And again, look at that deposit. That is so much. That 50 deposit in, giving them now 238 points, leading by about 40 points. But a little bit lost tourist here coming in from this Hoopa. Gets out with Hyperspace Hole and is going to leave Blissey all on its lonesome.
And now here we go. Let's find out what's going to be happening next here, as we're just, you know, just a little bit time now before the last Dreadnought comes out, and before the Zapdos comes out as well, onto that of the Zapdos pit, into that of the central area. You know, all of them are just trying to gain some experience here, you know, so that they can have their Unite moves ready by the time that the Zapdos comes out.
But level-wise, it doesn't look like they're too far ahead. In fact, I think it definitely looks more so like Reech Pokemon has an advantage here with 2 level 13 Pokemon in the side with Venusaur and Duraludon. Well, all they got is a lone Venusaur who isn't even ready to get a Dreadnought, and this EXP is going to scale back into their favor, and Reech Pokemon might have a very good chance to take this game home.
Yeah, but let's find out if they're going to be able to do that, as we're going to be seeing Rings Unbound going to be used here, Rolling Rings Unbound as well from Mevius. Hyperspace Fury is going to be used as well. Verdant Anger coming in from Young. They're going to be able to take down 2 into that of Renaissance, but look at that, Dream is going to be taken in as well with the Hyperspace Fury, but they're going to be able to answer back. But look at this, Cameron is going to be the only one left here for Renaissance, and they're going to be able to take down 4 into the side of Renaissance, but is it going to be enough for them to take down the Zapdos for themselves? Let's find out. Anti's going to try to seal this one out, and they're not going to be able to. Anti's going to get punished, however, and it is going to be going to Reech Pokemon, that Zapdos, and all they need to do now is just score in and, you know, widen the gap that they already have against Renaissance, because right now, you know, they were on a loss, disadvantage rather, in terms of points, but now it's a time for them to get back up.
I mean, to be very honest with you, that was a very hard fight to get into, because you know what? All they had was a Blissey who wasn't even at the highest HP they could possibly, the maximum HP. And he had to walk in with not only Safeguard, but maybe a full heal, and that's kind of tough against a Lucario with Power Up Punch of all things.
It's
and this led to the device.
Yeah, it's more of a last resort tactic just to buy time. But even then, that Blissey was a little bit too late as well. But, at least there's still one more minute. And, Reach Pokemon still doesn't have that much of a wide of a gap. So, Renaissance could still do this, could still get some points here. And if they could, they can still win this one up. Because, in Pokemon Unite terms, 1 minute is such a long time. But here comes All-Nums with that other Revolving Ruin. Let's find out if they're going to be able to get in. Sorbim's going to be used here. They're going to be able to take out one. But Midnight Slash is going to be used as well. For an anger for that. Yeah, but it's not going to be enough. They're not going to be able to score in. That's only 100. Now it's only 95 points. Let's find out if they're going to be able to score in. Mavius with now a score shield as well, coming in with the help of the Bliss assistance. Still not going to be able to score in. Rings and Bounce is going to be used now by Mavius here. Unfortunately, there's only the Absol left for them to... Yeah, there's only the Absol left to teleport. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do it, and it looks like we're going to be seeing the first winner of the first game.
And that was a tough fight. Renaissance didn't really have an answer to the side of Reach Pokemon. They were super behind on levels on all fronts. The central area was a little bit behind when you look at the Duraludon. If we look on the side of, the top path, Lucario, well, he was definitely getting trades back and forth. He wasn't getting anything else. And for the most part, because Duraludon was there teaming up with the Lucario, he wasn't leveling up as fast in the early game. And when you boil it down to the very end with the first Dreadnought, that was their one chance to, hold the front. But they lost the team fight, they lost the second Dreadnought, and that was where it all came down.
Yeah, and with that, it's Reach Pokemon actually taking the first game, and it's looking pretty good for them so far. Knowing the fact that, well, they are coming in from the lower bracket of our tournament here, March Cup finals, and having that first win will definitely motivate you, to get back against the team that actually put you to the lower bracket, right?
You know what? This is a story I can go for. Reach Pokemon, you might have lost that initially, but what if you make a 6-0 comeback? That's all I'm saying. Reach Pokemon has something going for them. And
yeah, I mean,
as the underdogs, right?
Yeah, I mean, coming in from the lower bracket, obviously, since we are playing a double eliminations, just like that game called Pokémon Tournament. If you haven't played that, you should definitely take that one in as well.
You did,
because yeah, it's part of the World Championship as well. So I think you guys should play it as well. It's running a double eliminations bracket as well, and if you're coming in from the lower bracket, that means you have to defeat the other grand finalists coming in from the upper bracket twice. So if you're if it's a best of 3, you have to defeat them. You have to defeat them 4 times, but you have to win the first 2 first. Right.
And you know what? This is the start of something new for them. They're now finally winning this. They have a good shot. Let's see how they're able to play it out. I mean, the teams will get ready. Well, our video will get ready.
We're going to get ready because we just, we got the footage.
It's a lost footage. We're getting the lost footage together, and we're gonna get it out. But of course, the one thing that's running through my mind now is how the side of Renaissance can play better. Now, coming from my home, it's funny because I'm from Singapore, and JJ, I think you can speak for yourself. It's really funny.
I actually just noticed that as well. That the teams right now from the grand finals are from Singapore and the Philippines, and coincidentally, we are from both of those regions. It's pretty funny.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm biased to my own region, but seeing as they were the ones to lose the first round, we need to see how they can come back from this. And more or less, only 2 Pokemon were different. Right? Yeah. We had the Absol, who was different, and we had, if I'm not wrong, it was the...
yeah, you can do it. Come on.
It was the Blissey.
All right, yeah.
So...
But it's speaking of which, we can now show them the game number 2 as well. And I think again, it's the first time seeing the actions here, so really excited to see this as well along with you guys. So without further ado, let's take a look at game number 2.
Reach Pokemon versus Renaissance. Once again, you are watching the March finals. No cap here because it might be April, but we still got a lot of catching up to do.
Wait, am I supposed to press OK? Wait.
You're supposed to press play.
There you go. Wait, That was
There you go. There you go. You had to press it. Just take a little bit of time. We're still warming up.
Oh my goodness. But okay, so it looks like we're not gonna be seeing any changes from both of the teams here. They're still gonna be running into the same Pokemons that they did on game number 1. Nothing much is gonna be changed here. Obviously, it's still gonna be the Duraludon. Sorry, the Bulbasaur mid central area, and then of course on the other side it's going to be the Absol central area as well. So
no, the Absol will be going to the top path. So what I'm hearing is you're lying to our audience to distract them from the true purpose of why Absol is here, and that is to counter Lucario with his high damage.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting because like they have been changing up their antics as well, to ensure that this Duraludon gets as much spike as as possible, as early as possible, knowing the fact that this Duraludon right here pre nerf is actually pretty strong.
Right, and you know what's also strong? The side of Renaissance, as they were able to more or less secure all the Audinos, or at least most of it, from the side of Reech Pokemon. And again, Reebong's doing the same, returning the favor from Lucario.
But what's good about this is that at the very least, Renaissance isn't, eaten up by the pressure, given by Reech Pokemon into that of the bottom lane, compared to what happened in game number 1, where it was Reech Pokemon actually giving up a lot of the advantage, a lot of the aggression into that of the early games before the first Bs, right?
Yeah. And with that being said, though, now that they're kind of slowly gaining levels, I'm excited to see who's going to be the first Ivysaur to come out to, make a big play. Run in with the Giga Drain to stop the
team. Wow.
But Reebok's coming in, taking the fight, but nothing is going to come out of it as he just backs away.
Oh my goodness, there we go.
He's hungry. He's hungry.
Like even if that's the case, at the very least, Reech Pokemon still has a little bit of an advantage here. They have the points, although we can see Renaissance here having the lead in terms of a level, so they would definitely have Reech Pokemon would definitely have a hard time going into objectives. And at the same time, we just saw the Duraludon as well take down the orange buff here from this side of Reech Pokemon, so definitely delaying their own Duraludon, their own mid laner, not the Forester, the mid laner of Team Reech Pokemon.
It's kind of surprising that their Forester is getting so much levels, and it's very obvious to see why. The central area is filled of very EXP rich Pokemon, right? And if you're gonna keep farming off these things, you're gonna gain EXP bit by bit like that. I think it's safe to say that Kamiru might be the first one to able to take most of Pokemon down, as we see right here. Hoopa goes down for the count, and we're able to slowly gain levels on level 8 already, compared to the level 7 Duraludon. And we're going for an XRB, so very likely he's going to be hitting level 9 before the Dreadnought.
Yeah, and definitely hitting that level 9 before the Dreadnought is a huge thing, because then you would have Unite move ready before the Dreadnought and essentially can disseminate, not disseminate, but essentially destroy the other team, compared to if you don't have it, you don't have a comeback answer to your opponent. But here comes the Evolving Rune, going to be used here by Kamiru, and we're going to be seeing another Dragon Pulse as well, but unfortunately not going to be enough to take it down. But Hyperspace is going to be able to make them recover, but it's not enough though. They're a little bit too late. Thanks to the teleportation, they might have recovered, but to what extent, to what cost? It costed them the Dreadnought, and now they're going to get eaten up by Renaissance right now. Rebon's really trying to be greedy right now to get inside of the speed reflux zone of Reech Pokemon, but even then, they were already able to score in. Rebons was already able to buy some time for their teammates and get the scores in onto that first tier score goal into that of the bottom path.
Now, all that said and done, though, the goal zone here is looking a little bit worse from where, but not broken. So they've got a chance to make a good Dreadnought comeback. And with that said, what they can do now is definitely get the Rotom to, stop them a little bit. Push a little pressure on Renaissance before they do anything else. They can find time to gain EXP before taking a new fight. But doesn't look like they're going to give them a chance, as the team is primed and ready to come in for them.
Dragon Pulse is going to be used here once again to secure that Rotom, and Reach Pokemon successfully takes that Rotom into that of the top lane. So right now, we are seeing Reach Pokemon securing the first Dreadnought of the fight, and as well as the first Rotom of the fight, giving them an ample amount of pressure, giving Renaissance an ample amount of pressure into that of the top lane, giving them some time, to rotate into that of the bottom lane. Unfortunately, that's not what's going to be happening here, as Renaissance is going to be able to destroy the first Squirtle and negating that hyperspace hole from the Hoopa off the side of Reach Pokemon.
And negating life away from the Duraludon as it gets knocked out right there. And the next one is going down might be Mevius if he's not careful.
That is true, but let's find out if that's going to be happening. Very good use of the hyperspace hill right now, just so that they are not going to get, they're not going to have their life taken away from them, essentially. But I like how JD just went back there without any questions. But here comes Rings and Bells going to be used here. They can essentially just teleport going down. JT doesn't seem to be teleporting. Never mind. He just teleported right there. Bliss Assist is going to be used here by Anti. But look at the battle right now. Verdant Anger is going to be used as well. Rebonks right now has the buff coming in from that of the Bliss Assist. Solar Beam's not going to be able to take down the Dreadnought. But it is Kamiru with that of the Dragon Pulse to take down, securing the Dreadnought for themselves. And they're going to be able to get almost a team ace, against Reach Pokemon, taking off 4 Pokemon from their side.
A very nice 4KO coming in with the last 2 from Reeboks with a sweep. And Mevius here trying his best to get a 24, knowing that, he has no chance, backs away, and unfortunately is not going to happen. He does get the Lucario, he does not get anything else from there, and honestly, I think that's, the best you're gonna get.
And look at that, at this point, I think Reach Pokemon is crumbling a little bit, and it's actually kind of weird as well. Well, not weird per se, but rather it's kind of fascinating to see, especially they were the ones who got the first Rotom of the game. They were the first one to get the first, Dreadnought of the game as well. And they had all the advantage, and now it's taken away from them by Renaissance. And right now, Renaissance was able to take it a second Dreadnought and second Rotom as well. And Reach Pokemon doesn't seem to have any clear answers against Renaissance.
And you know what? Not having a clear answer might still be okay for now, but when you're counting down to the Zapdos timer, that 1 minute remaining, more or less, that's not good. That's not good. I think the best play for them, save up your Unite moves, take one good fight, and just gain EXP from that. You might not have your Unite moves later on, but at least you have been gaining back EXP so that you can match them 1-for-1.
Right, and now we're going to be seeing just a little bit of, at least less than a minute left before we can see the Zapdos fight. And, if Reach Pokemon can take that Zapdos, then they still have a pretty huge chance of, taking away this game from Renaissance. And perhaps we might be able to see a reset, immediately at this turn. But, Renaissance definitely is not going to allow them to take it easily. They're going to give them a hard time to take it down. As you can see as well, Renaissance is going to be able to secure this Dreadnought quite freely as well.
Right.
And it's actually a pretty good idea as well for Reach Pokemon that they can force themselves into that of the first tier, score goals into the top and bottom path. They have a little bit of a leeway as well. If they can take into Zapdos, they can immediately just score it in, compared to when you still have to go to the second tier score goals. But right now we're going to be seeing some action here. Ring some bounce is going to be used here by both of the Hoopas as well. Bleeds assistance into Dream and into Camera as well. But look at that, Camera is going to be taken down. Yeah, however, is going to be taken down, so that's going to retreat down for Renaissance. It looks like Reach Pokemon is going to be able to reach this Zapdos for themselves. Are they going to be able to do it? Yeah, no! Yang's going to be able to take that with the Solar Beam. A lot of people.
Solar Beam.
It was a Solar Beam.
Steel Beam. That's a Steel Beam.
That was a Steel Beam with an EA, right? Steel Beam with an EA. Now here's the thing, right?
With EA.
A lot of not the Steel Beam EE, but the EA. Now, I see a lot of people, I understand a lot of people, a lot of players, a lot of trainers are using Petal Dance, right? Petal Dance and Giga Drain. I understand that.
Yeah.
But there's a huge, there's also a huge advantage to using Solar Beam. And one of those advantages is what you just saw right there. Renaissance Yang was able to steal away the Zapdos from Reach Pokemon, their essentially their win condition against Renaissance. And right now, you can see the points right now. It's 325 to 321, and there's still a minute left. Still
It's
a minute
fine.
left. It's going to be hard, especially that Renaissance has all the advantage in terms of XP. And if they go in, at one time, right? If they go in against Reach Pokemon, they're really going to have a hard time defending this away from Renaissance.
Well, it was just out of reach for them, unfortunately, given how long Solar Beam's range is. And what they gotta do now is they're just a small gap away. They just need a few points to be dunked in, and unfortunately, a lot of them have a good chunk of points being held on to. I don't know how they're gonna be able to score in time like this.
And at the same time, you have to consider as well, Solar Beam has a very huge cooldown time as well. And look at this, Mevius was able to secure and save their own, save their Hoopa with the rings and bound. But, Reach Pokemon is going to be answering back as well with their own scoring. And let's find out the final score right now. There's just less than 5 seconds. I think it's going to be pretty close here. But there were 3 Pokemon that were able to score into the side of Renaissance. So, I think it's still a pretty close match,
It's cool.
I'd say. And let's find out.
This
only
100. Once again!
No, it's Renaissance. It's Renaissance on the right side now. Oh, on the left side right now.
Once again! Baited by the camera angles. With Renaissance taking that game away, shy off the fact that they almost lost that game. And, honestly, that was surprising because we saw they were about 20 odd points away. Right? And most of them were very much in a very precarious position where anyone who scored would have definitely taken the lead. And bit by bit, with that Mevius Rings Unbound, that was all they needed to continue to push in and score their 50 points.
I think it would have been, like, Hoopa has a lot of advantages to it as well, like teleporting your entire team. But one of the disadvantages of using Rings Unbound is that you can't score. You can't score. And we all saw for a fact that Mevius had 50 points. I mean, they still won, but could have been more. It could have been widened. The gap could have been widened. And at the same time, that is the same as well for Reach Pokemon. That Hoopa would have been could have been able to score but in exchange of teleporting everyone to to securing that scoring, it's quite a huge exchange. And quite balanced, I'd say.
I guess I see what you mean. And the good thing about all this, Reach Pokemon, your goal is not out of reach now. That's the main thing I'm concerned about, right? They were out and about scrambling into the loser bracket or the lower bracket, now fighting away for a chance at the grand spot of March Finals as your champions. And that is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And we want to see them, obviously. Well, at least for me, I want to see them, like, at least get a reset, and then from there we'll find out.
And I want to see. What I'm hearing is I want to see them get a reset. Full stop.
I mean,
what are you saying, dude? Come on.
Okay. I mean,
if you want to support Reach, I will support Renaissance.
Who doesn't want to see a reset? I think everyone would want to see a really long set between these teams, just because of the fact that longer sets means. The more that they can read into the other team, the more that we can see how much of not more of a I mean, yeah, it's also a given, but like I'm more interested to see, the skill gap of these two teams, because the longer the set, right? The longer the set, the more that we can see which one is better than the other.
Right, indeed. But as we excavate the remnants of the game up here, I think now is a good time to explore your options. Why Solar Beam Venusaur, right? I mean, like, you've gone with that and it's worked out. You've proven your point. Now, Absol as well. You've proven your
it
point.
might have been...
What
sorry.
do you think?
And I just have to mention as well. It might have been a misclick.
I can't say it's a misclick.
That's why I'm saying it might have. Because we wouldn't know until we asked the person, right?
I feel like it wasn't a misclick, though.
If it were, we can still see the advantages that it gave Renaissance.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we did see round 1 Yang was on the Solar Beam, and I didn't even see a Sludge Bomb in any case.
Yep.
So it might be that they are going for a Giga Drain Solar Beam, but that could just be me filling up, I'm going out of reach here, just to say that, maybe, who knows. So
Okay.
we might see.
All right, so we're going to go into game number 3 now to find out whether or not we're going to go on a reset or, see that Renaissance wins the entire thing.
Well, let's take a look as we go into our third game.
Yeah, so
And,
it's
I
actually
do
quite one
believe
of the most interesting, what do you call this, most interesting combinations as well. Giga Drain, what do you call it, Giga Drain Solar Beam, because it's usually Giga Drain and the Pedal Dance or Solar Beam and Sludge Bomb. But Sludge Bomb isn't used as much anymore. There are some who are using Solar Beam as well, but with Giga Drain.
Yeah.
Just for sustain, for sustain.
Yeah, and of course, if we could, have someone that like analyzes for us to a bigger picture, I'm sure we can nitpick bit by bit what exactly is going on. But unfortunately, looks like that's all the time we have, and we're gonna have to look to the next game as it starting up.
I wonder because, I believe we were to have an analyst as well, but the guy's in a different region right now.
Maybe Germany? Question mark?
Yeah, maybe Germany? Question mark? Yeah. But anyway, let's focus back into the game.
Hearts and minds, hearts and minds. Hearts and minds in the right place, as we do see someone's hearts and minds going to be a little bit too low for comfort here. As the Chansey doesn't want to be there. I don't think you want to be there, as Renaissance slowly picked them off bit by bit. Mix is almost going down for the count, but it's backing off.
Sorry, still.
Don't worry, I'll carry on the process, as Renaissance is trying their best to pick up all of this EXP where they can. They were able to push Mix back, which allowed them to, of course, continue to farm onto their side of the map.
Oh man, this is a really fun broadcast, right? But hey,
It is.
At the very least, we're gonna be seeing Reech Pokemon here. For both of the teams, really, neither of the teams are backing up. Unlike on the previous games where there was one team that is getting pushed back, by the other team, and this time it's looking more of a balanced match right now, at least in the early game. Obviously, we're going to be seeing the catalyst happen. We're going to be seeing the catalyst of this match the moment that the first render comes out.
Ooh, no. Dream actually missed out on that auto right there, and that's not good, because look at that Bulbasaur scaling level on the side of Renaissance. I do not want to see it be Ivysaur anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh, but Reebok's here.
Reebok's trying to get away and going to be able to successfully get away as well, but never mind. He says, you know what, I'm not running out, I'm not going to be a chicken, I'm going to be answering back. But unfortunately, with that of the hyperspace hole allowing Kai to get back, essentially recovering back their own health and being safe as well.
Interesting standoff here, but with the help of the Bulbasaur now coming in, looks like Reech is going to try and push him once again. And, there's not much else to say here.
Oh, I see now what's missing from our broadcast. I'm sorry, I'm going to be, can you continue over a bit?
Okay, I will do it over.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, look, it's the Unite Championship Series!
We put it here. There you go.
Hey, look, it looks great now. And you know what
Yeah,
else is great? The fight that's ensuing, as they are now going to deposit all of their points into the side of Reech. No, not going to deposit. They're just going to back off, go into hyperspace hole, take a little trip down, and get out. As the Unite logo is moving around, we are going to see them posture ready for a Dreadnought. The revolving roots comes out, and in response to that, we are seeing an own Solar Beam going out, but no, it looks like Reech Pokemon has gotten it with a nice power-up punch to secure it, and now are going on their team. They're pushing forward, and they're not allowing them to fall down. Another Solar Beam does pop out, and they aren't unable to push onto the fight unless they want to commit as much resources as the Bulbasaur is willing to move forward.
Oh my goodness, JD actually went inside the team of Renaissance and got punished for it. And here comes Bliss Assistance into Ball, and I'm going to be able to survive. Unfortunately, that seems to be a little bit of a waste of a Unite move there, coming from the Blissey, as Allen just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to the base, you don't need to heal me up, after the fact that he got the buff of the Bliss Assistance.
Right, and with all that said and done though, looks like the next objective is right there for the taking. The Rotom is waiting, and I wouldn't want to be that Rotom when the entire team all puffs up and just wails on it bit by bit, as we do see Renaissance already starting on it. Kamiru and Rebongs are there trying to lower it down, but we still have a power punch to account for, as they are almost forcing the Jet to be like, hey, if you want to do it, it's now or never. And Jet says, forget it, I'm gonna back out.
Yeah, JD is definitely that guy. But here comes Renaissance into that other top lane. All 5 of them actually going into that other top lane. But here comes the passive ability coming in from that off. The Duraludon not going to allow it to get pushed in. But here comes Renaissance as well, pushing into that other top lane. Essentially telling each Pokemon, you know what? This is our turf now. This is our turf now.
And the entire path right there now open for the taking means that if they wanted to, they could give Dreadnought and go and drop all of that points into the top path. But I don't think that's what they're going for, as we do see them all preparing to path down to Dreadnought.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, they want not only the lead in terms of points, but rather the leads in XPs as well. But look at that. Rolling Earth is going to be used here. Assist into Dream with the Verdant Anger as well. But they're not going to be able to take down anyone at all into the side of Renaissance. Never mind. There goes a Hoopa, and there goes a Blissey as well. Kamiru trying to answer back against Reech Pokemon, but it looks like they're not going to be able to do that. But Dream is going to be taken down by Rebongs here, and Kai as well. That's going to be 2 KO for Rebongs right there, and 2 KO as well for Kamiru. Oh, never mind. That's going to be 3 KO for Kamiru.
You know what? The numbers keep stacking. Kamiru is very hungry for all of that Pokemon. Absol with that little bit of edge right there. He just wants to go into a little bit of chip chop on the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's definitely really interesting. It's Renaissance, despite having a little bit of a problem into scoring in some points, they still have the advantage in terms of a team fight. We can definitely say for sure that they have a little bit of a better fundamentals than that of Reech Pokemon. And what Renaissance is doing is actually ensuring that Reech Pokemon evolves into a fight that they can essentially go toe-to-toe against Renaissance. And we can definitely see it on based on how Renaissance is just pressuring up Reech Pokemon into from that of the top path, from securing the objectives, going into the team fights, and I think I think the only way for Reech Pokemon to be able to get back against Renaissance right now is if and only if Reech Pokemon could pick off Renaissance and not engage them in a team fight where everyone is present.
They need to fall one at a time, bit by bit. Especially now that Reech Pokemon has the point lead. They don't really have to go for Zapdos, but it'd be nice to at least gain back their levels here, which we are very quickly going to look on the average of Renaissance side. It's level 12. On the average of course, Reech Pokemon, about 10, and that's not looking good for them.
Right. And here we go. We're going to be seeing another action here in just 5 seconds. The Dreadnought is going to be popping up as well, but it looks like Reech Pokemon has the positional advantage against Renaissance. But right now, let's find out who's going to be able to take it. It looks like Jade is going to be able to take it up with the power-up punch. And with the really great timing of the hyperspace hole, they were able to take the Dreadnought and then immediately just go back to their team base. And I really like that because the last time that they were able to get they were on a Dreadnought, right, on the game number 2. The moment that they were able to take it, they tried. Right, yeah, they tried to answer back against Renaissance after the fact of after taking the Dreadnought, essentially removing that buff from the Dreadnought away from them and giving XP to Renaissance. But right now, just less a 10 seconds, we're gonna be able to see the Zapdos, but Rings and Bounce is gonna be used as well. Bliss Assistant into Dream right now, but it looks like Reech Pokemon is falling apart right now, as Renaissance is the only one left here, being together as a team. But never mind, it is going to be Renaissance gonna be able to take down. That's gonna be 2 down into the side of Renaissance. 2 for 1 trade right now. Anti tried to get away, but Dream says, no, you're not going anywhere. And Rebonks as well, tries to get away. Unfortunately, that's going to be a team ace here, a team KO for Reech Pokemon, and they're going to be able to secure this Zapdos for themselves and score in without any hitch, without any problems, without any issues. And Renaissance is going to have a hard time into defending this one, as everyone from their team got taken out.
Right, and you know what? That is kind of the biggest issue. One thing I would say about Renaissance is that they did a fantastic job to group up together into a sort of master ball composition where they all huddled up. And that allowed them to really take better fights, even though they are susceptible to more area of effect kind of damage moves. But in the end, it really worked out for them as they were able to, I know where you're going, you know where I'm going, we can cover each other if we see anyone getting picked off. And that was the one thing Reach Pokemon need to do, which we talked about, right? Picking them off. They didn't get picked off.
It's actually pretty amazing as well, because like, what I mentioned earlier is that they need to pick off Renaissance one by one, but on to that of the Zapdos fight, right? On to that of the Zapdos pit, what happened is that Reach Pokemon was scattered, and only Renaissance were, catching up to them, and while essentially being cuddled up together. And from there, as you mentioned, all the AoE attacks, essentially got the AoE damages throughout everyone into the side of Renaissance to allow them to get a team ace.
And you know what? It's gonna continue to snowball here. I mean, no matter what they do now, 500 points is not enough to get them back in the game. If we do see Renaissance,
I mean, 500 points is enough. It's definitely enough to get them in against Reach Pokemon. But with this kind of a timer, yeah, they don't have the time to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know what? That kind of seals the deal here. The real deal breaker, so to speak. And here we go, as we calculate the scores. I think it's no surprise who won this round. So give it up for Reach Pokemon.
Yeah, Reach Pokemon definitely is going to, put Renaissance into the lower bracket as well. The lower bracket of the grand finals, because we're going to have the reset now that Reach Pokemon won, the third game of the first grand finals.
They've got a good shot at this, and you know what? They want to leave all of the past behind. That's what Renaissance is, and that's what they're about to do. Your history. As they go into their last game, that is all they have to do to clean up the house here and take away a chance at the grand champions of our March series.
My goodness, it's a pretty long set. Yeah, it's a pretty long set as well. And well, obviously, we already know that it's going to be a reset. It's the first time knowing, it's the first time knowing why, or how rather, they got into a reset. I think a lot of you guys already know the results as well, but it's still fascinating to see.
It's the journey.
It's the journey, definitely. It's always a journey. And speaking of the journey, we're gonna be seeing the 2-1, win against Renaissance here by Reach Pokemon, but that also means that both of them are now currently in the lower bracket. That Reach Pokemon needs to win, needs to win 2 more games against Renaissance, for them to actually win that, and it's actually pretty hard. Again, the longer the set is, the more the mental stress is it going to be giving to the players. Right, what to call this? It's physically as well, not only mentally, but also physically straining as well to play in such a long set, and it's really hard to imagine. Well, I mean, it's not that it's hard to imagine, but rather you don't want to be on that position. You don't want to be on that position, but at the same time, they have the momentum. They won the first reset, and they are not going in for the first reset rather, but the first grand finals, and now they're heading into the reset.
And with that all said and done, this time could have been spent, maybe having someone to give us a rundown of what's happening in the games, an analysis of sorts. And, well, that's all fine and dandy, though. One thing we do have is the power to instantly go to our next game. So, JJ, are you ready to go and see how this boogie's down?
No, I wanted that, I wanted our analyst, really, but,
I wanted it, too.
He has a
bigger job to fulfill.
Yeah, he has a bigger job to fulfill, and he has a name that cooks, right?
It's a wonder where he is.
Yeah, it's a wonder where he is, and he cooks. In Germany.
Even though he might not be here. No. Oh shit! Wait, I forgot what I wanted to say. Calm down.
Anyway, we're now ready to present them via the next game. It's going to be the reset here. Renaissance versus Reach Pokemon. Once again, really interesting.
Alright, and no, it doesn't look like the composition has changed, which is one thing I am very happy to look at. Because, let me put it this way for you. Top teams, what you look for is consistency. And if you know your composition works, then you know it's mainly the plays that isn't well. And with that being said, though, they know that rebounds on the Absol, that works. We can keep it. We know that Yang with Solar Beam works. That should be kept too. So all that said and done, they're gonna keep with it. On the other side though, the one thing they need to make sure that they do more often is secure better, right? JT has to make sure they clear it out much better on the Dreadnought and the Rotor.
It's actually pretty interesting as well, you know, that Rebongs is a known player as well, right? And you did this with me. Rebongs is a known player as well to have been using Venusaur,
nice
right? The Venusaur as well. For those who didn't know, Renaissance is actually made up of, I'd say, one of the best players in APAC, right?
One of the best players in there, right?
Yeah,
it's a good chunk of them.
It's a good chunk of them that, you know, came up together and formed Renaissance.
Right, but of course, you know, Reech Pokemon is also, you know, a bunch of APAC players that got out together and formed a team. Funnily enough, because, you know, this is the Asia Pacific Cup.
Yeah.
Touche, right? Touche. but you know what's not touche? No, it's not touche. It's of course the next set of beasts coming up, and if we can see them grabbing, then EXP is sure to be guaranteed. As it looks like the fight is not gonna be pushed forward any further than it should be, but they are a little bit hungry for this core fish here.
And now we're going to be seeing that Hyperspace Hole going to be used here by Renaissance to, you know, by both of the teams really to recover some health here. But we're going to be seeing some initiations right now coming in from Renaissance. Are they going to be able to push this in? I don't think so. I don't think they would. And there comes Hyperspace Hole to just recover some health, as well as what's happening down at the bottom lane is that we're going to be seeing some Ditto here, the Blissey, or rather the Chansey and the Bulbasaur.
No, it's not a Ditto anymore. Look at that. Not, well, okay. Ivysaur.
Yeah, it's not a Ditto anymore, definitely. And we can see that Renaissance is actually, you know, getting in a lot of pressure against Reech Pokemon that at the bottom lane, and they're losing not only the bottom lane, but also the top lane.
And all that said and done though, how are we looking in terms of the levels in general? It looks like Renaissance is in a more stable position in comparison to Reech Pokemon, but I wouldn't be so sure right now, as they are going to go down onto Rebongs and take him out. No, wait, he did not take him out. It looks like on the other side, Renaissance take out JT. And Lucario now out for the count means if they want to take a fight here, it's all theirs. The stage is theirs.
And here it comes, going into the bottom lane. Still a Ditto here. Well, it's now a Ditto again, rather.
Now the Ditto again.
It's now a Ditto again, right? Really interesting. We're going to be seeing more of the action on the top lane, because you all know for a fact that Venusaur, well, Ivysaur doesn't do as much as, you know, it still does a lot, but not as much as Venusaur. But now at the top lane, it's not going to be much of a problem. Once again, as we mentioned, thanks to Hoopa rather, with the Hyperspace Hole, allowing them to just teleport from the top path to the bottom path. But right now we're going to see the Dreadnought right now coming up. Here comes the Revolving Ruin coming in from Allnuts, and they're going to be able to secure that Dreadnought as well. Rebon's going to be taken down as well. They're going to be four down. That's going to be Team Ace for Team Reech Pokemon, and they're going to be able to secure the first tier score goal into that of the bottom lane and destroy that as well to score in on that of the second tier score goal.
Now the bottom path is going to be overwhelmed, and I don't know if you want to really push for this tier 2 goal zone, and it's going to be hard, right? They're going to continue to do it. Reech Pokemon is in a precarious position. If they want to stay here, they are going to have to fight the entire side of Renaissance with a goal zone healing to come and boost them. But with that being said, Dream is now up and ready on the Venusaur, but does not opt to further anger to run away, which you know, might be a mistake to give them a little bit more EXP to work with.
I think it's pretty good. You know, I think it's pretty good because like they got a 2-for-2 trade on that team fight, and then the only thing that I think, you know, that Venusaur is trying to do is buy some time for Kai, for the Hoopa to get away. And it's actually a pretty good thing as well that, you know, Kai was able to get away, because it's going to be much of the, you know, the mobility of a Team Reech Pokemon here. And, you know, just in time, rather, you know, just in time for it to evolve into Venusaur. At the very least, it did not. You know, at the very least, it did not make use of the Verdant Anger before it got KO'd.
Right. But this is the unfortunate problem now for Renaissance. They have a choice to either give up the tier 1 goal zone or leave it be. And I think leaving it be might be the better option. You know, if you have a big 40-point dunk or deposit, you might have something going for you there in terms of point lead. As we do see, it's only 56 points ahead on the side of Reech Pokemon.
But at the same time, it's really fascinating to see how Reach Pokemon is not trying to destroy the first tier score goal into that of the top path from Renaissance, not essentially pushing them out into that of the top path. But never mind, before we head into that, more Verdant Angers are going to be used by Dream as well. Miva's going to be taken out as well while in that of the Unbound for Anti trying to get away, but unfortunately MXI with the Blissey as well, not allowing it to get away. But here comes the All-in-Amps with the Duraludon, going to be able to take down the Duraludon. Yang is going to be hamburgered here by Reach Pokemon and going to be taken out as well. Now they want to push in the top path. MXI with that of the Blissey is going to be hamburgered up here by Renaissance. They're going to be able to take it out, and here comes Duraludon and the Lucario going to that of the bottom lane. Never mind, it's just the Duraludon, and they're going to be eaten up as well, as they are outnumbered here by Renaissance. And right now it's going to be 4v2 right now, 4v2. Oh my god, Sucker Punch is going to allow them to Red Bombs to just teleport and deal some damage into their opponents, allowing them to give time to their teammates to destroy the first score goal into that of the bottom lane. And now it's pretty much equal right now, equal footing in terms of how many score points, how many score goals we have right now. Only one score goal has been destroyed so far for both of the teams. Their scores are the same as well. Unfortunately, when it comes in terms of the levels of the XP, Reach Pokemon is leading up.
Yeah, but don't forget, they're not just leading up in terms of, levels, right? Because initially they were the ones who scored 181 points first, which makes them the leader. But now that point lead is slowly diminishing. 221, 222, very close point gap here.
And they were able to destroy the first score goal as well and secure the Rotom. So that's definitely going to be much of a pressure against Reach Pokemon. But at the same time, you have to remember as well that since they were able to, take in the Rotom in less than 4 minutes, right? That means we're not gonna be able to see that Rotom once again. And the Dreadnought that is about to respawn right now is the last Dreadnought of the fight, before the Zapdos as well. So that's going to be huge. If they want to win, then they definitely have to take this Dreadnought away from the other team. But right now we're going to be seeing the Stealth Rocks here from both of the Duraludon. But let's find out who's going to be able to take it out.
No,
JT is going to be able to take that, and I like what just happened. Immediately, very good timing as well. The moment that they were able to take in that that Dreadnought rather, is they teleported back into the base and have a little bit of a retreat, to call themselves up and try to position themselves into going into that of the Zapdos fight. And we're gonna be seeing the Zapdos fight right now in just a bit, as Zapdos is gonna be respawning and just going to be spawning rather in just less than 10 seconds. Oh, Rings of Buzz is going to be used as well. Verdant Anger is going to be flying up as well. Or a cannon coming in from JD as well. But JD is going to be taken out. Blissey as well. Dream, however, going to be able to fight down Red Bombs right now. Red Bombs trying to get away and is actually going to be able to successfully get away. But four of Team Renaissance is going to be taken out. And looks like Red Bomb tries to buy some time, but unfortunately not going to be able to. And Reach Pokemon is going to be able to secure the Zapdos as well for themselves for game 1 of the reset. And we might be able to look at the potential win here for Reach Pokemon, but we have to remember there's still a minute and a half left for Renaissance here to catch up against Reach Pokemon.
And it's not that big of a gap. They only need 400 points to go back at them, right? 450 points is able to clean them up the game. However, it looks like a lot of them are just going to continuously try and drop more points. And you see another 82 come in from MXI, even though he's taken out.
Yeah, but now here's the thing, like they only have like 476 points of a lead. Now, while it's going to be difficult for them, while it's huge, right? While it's going to be difficult for them to come back from this, it's not impossible. There's still a minute left, at least a minute left, right?
You gotta buy the time. You gotta wait.
They have to wait for the right time. That's the thing.
And here's the thing, they don't have all 50 points. And that's going to be hard for them to, make a comeback like this, right? With 43 points on hand now, how can they possibly deposit this and say that they can win? They need a bit more points to work with, and taking a good fight here is the one thing they're going to do, as JT does get out the Absol into the side of Renaissance as they slowly push bit by bit. We do see him running away. Yang is almost going down. Oh no, I do see it, and the close combat is going to cry out. Can they make it out? the Hoopa is gonna fight him over, and they're gonna continue to score for more points here, increasing the gap more and more. I don't think they can clear this, JJ.
It's actually
are we
interesting.
gonna make this
It's
work?
actually interesting because like I'm pretty sure you didn't notice as well, but like Kai, before using Rings Unbound to ensure that their teammates is going to be able to teleport to score in some points, actually scored before, scored before the Rings Unbound.
And well, that's great and all. Look at that. Look at that and tell me that they had a chance.
Well, I mean, if they had 50 points each, then they might have.
There was a chance, right?
There
If
was
they
a
had
chance,
50, but
yeah.
they didn't have 50 points. And how would
Unfortunately.
you score?
Unfortunately.
And all that said and done, if we look at the data set right here into the damage they're dealing, the movesets they got, I mean, it definitely looks like a very overwhelming success on the side of Reech Pokemon. I mean, look at the amount of supports they have, the amount of KOs they've taken. It is numbers, leaps and bounds above Renaissance as we look at the damage numbers as well. So what if you have more damage, Kamiru? I mean, you're not making waves. You're not picking the right picks. You're just doing damage for the sake of doing damage.
And this is what I'm talking about earlier. Reach Pokemon coming in from the lower bracket rather, and winning the first grand finals game as well is definitely going to boost their morale going into the reset. And we definitely saw the result. They were the first one to win the reset, and we might potentially be seeing, we might potentially see, them winning the entire thing.
Reach Pokemon reaching for their goals finally. I mean, they got knocked out very early on in the February Cup, and now, when you are just that short away, that shy off your goal by a little bit, I don't think they want to lose this opportunity.
I mean, you're already here. It's going to be a bummer if you lose the last game. You know what I'm saying?
But Renaissance still sticking to that composition at this point. While I'm talking about consistency over and over again, I have to be wondering what's going on in their minds here, because they are the winners coming into this, right? They were on the top bracket, the upper bracket. And
they haven't lost
they're
once.
like,
they haven't
lost
lost
once. And suddenly they look at Reach Pokemon, they're like, why are we downing points? We're winning some games, we're not winning all of them.
And they already won against Reach Pokemon as well earlier.
Exactly. I mean, is this a mindset change? Is this something that they're trying to make work? Is there a Pokemon that they weren't using initially that we didn't see? There's a lot of things that are going back in the back of my mind, and I think for Renaissance they are kind of like rushing through their head as well. Maybe we might see a change, maybe we might not. It all comes down to the idea of how can we counter it, because if it's not the composition, it's your place, and if that isn't working out, you got to go back to the drawing board.
Right, and speaking of the drawing board, it looks like we're going to be going now into the last game. Well, potentially the last game, if and only if Reach Pokemon wins this one. But we're going to be seeing Kamiru. Kamiru is going to be changing up, their Pokemon from the Duraludon into that of the Talonflame. So really going to be interesting matchup here. We haven't seen... Oh, well, here's the thing, right? Reach Pokemon hasn't changed their lineup. But Renaissance, as you mentioned... They had a little bit of thinking here, and they saw that Duraludon might not have been working. Let's try to change it up with
really strong Pokemon though.
With the Talonflame. And what's really good about Talonflame as well is that it's a Pokemon that has huge mobility, that can score in and attack you from above, out of nowhere.
But you want to know something, by the way?
Yeah.
The Speedster role generally is the one to go into the central area, and maybe Kamiru has the idea that if I pick the right roles for the right places,
Forester,
it might make it work. Yeah, like he goes into the forest here as the central area, the Forester. Kamiru understands the game. Maybe this is the plan they're gonna play with.
Right. And
and as we go down to the fight though, this is how it's gonna play out. I see. They're gonna steal this Audino right from under them, but they will lose the Chansey on the side of Renaissance. As you see, they are slowly being picked off bit by bit. They do make it out though, so my prediction's a little bit off there, but they didn't walk away freely with the Audino as well, so the entire thing is gone.
Right, but it's still the early game here. It could still be anyone's game, and man, it's definitely going to be a lot here. If this Talonflame proves to be proves to be a menace for Reach Pokemon, I don't think Renaissance is going to be changing up this Talonflame against Reach Pokemon if, they win this game.
Well, let's see if this is the play here, because all I'm seeing now is them hitting back and forth each other with whatever feathers or sharp claws talents they have, and Reach Pokemon is still in the lead. The Duraludon took down Rebounds right there, but in return, Kamiru showing that the Speedster is the right role and then being taken out by Lucario.
I mean, at the very least, they were able to get a trade, you know what I'm saying? It's not that they were taken out for naught. So that's a very good thing as well for that. But here comes the Ivysaur coming in from Yang. Just 4 more levels before it becomes a Venusaur for it to have Verdant Anger. And obviously, we saw this first. We saw this strategy first coming in from Eos Fortis Regis from the Philippines on the Winter Tournament, right? The Blissey and the Blissey and the Venusaur combo, where it essentially allows the Venusaur to be immortal for a certain amount of time, especially with the help of Bliss Assistance Unite move. Of course, with the Giga Drain and the Petal Dance combination as well for that of the Venusaur.
And all that said and done, though, they aren't using the Fly move, but instead Brave Bird, which does a lot of damage, and he's gonna combo it with Air Ace to, chain multiple Air Aces into big damage and into that nice score. Yeah,
they're not gonna go in for the Flame Shard. A lot of players, who goes in for a Fly, goes for the goes in for the Flame Charge. But in this combination, we have the Brave Bird and the Air Ace. We do know for a fact that Air Ace gets more of a hit if you can have that Brave Bird mark there into your opponent, if you hit someone with the Brave Bird. But look at that, Flame Switch is going to be used here, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to steal away the Dreadnought away from Reach Pokemon, and they're going to be able to try to just push them in, try to get some scores. And Kamiru is going to be a little bit tad late here, against Reach Pokemon, but never mind, they're going to be able to hamburger Reach Pokemon right now, as they are going to be eating them up. All is going to be taken down as well. That's going to be 2 down for Reach Pokemon, and Ivysaur of Reach Pokemon still not a Venusaur. That's why it wasn't able to help out a lot. But here comes the, oh my goodness, here comes the ability here, the active ability, the only Pokemon with the active ability in this game, Hoopa, essentially Magician, stealing away the citrus berries of the other team. Unfortunately, it's still not enough to help them out against the pressure of Renaissance.
And all that said and done, it looks like we are in a kind of a bit of a bind on both sides, right? Renaissance has the levels, but Reach Pokemon is not too far behind in terms of both points and levels as well. But losing that Rotom is going to hurt their ego a little bit here, as they were winning quite convincingly at the start.
But here comes another Flame Sweep, actually pretty quick as well. The last time that we saw the Flame Sweep was on the Dreadnought fight, was like what, a minute away from earlier, and now we're able to see it again. This is the power of the Talonflame, especially when you're using the Talonflame to just do the job, try to score in, try to get away and help out if you are needed. This is the kind of power that Talonflame gives up to their opponent, and you can see the lead right now that they do have in terms of points and the XP as well. The Talonflame currently at level 12 is the one with the highest XP, highest level right now in the game.
Now, all is there. The pieces are in place for them to take a win. The Talonflame has been working out, and now they're going to take the fight here. But is this going to be the fight they can take? Because Rebound's a little bit low, and as they continue to take the fight here, Brave Bird coming into the Flame Sweep, pushing that KY, you're a bit out of position. You have to go back into the fight as they look at the Dreadnought, looking a little bit low here. They
do was able to secure that.
Reach Pokemon.
Yeah, All was able to secure the Dreadnought, and it looks like Kamiru going to be able to try to buy some time. Unfortunately, not going to be able to be successful onto that feat, and now we're going to be seeing some action here after scoring a little bit. Immediate teleportation. Very good timing coming in from Kai.
Ooh, no, and I'm going to be telling you here, even though they do get the points, they do get the lead, Reach Pokemon, again, was very convincing at the start. I'm not going to count them out just yet, especially since they got a long way to go, before taking their time and prize as champions.
And oh my goodness, look at the Brave Bird, just like a nuke, waiting to drop down, and was able to take down All obviously along with the help of his friends of the teammates. It's essentially a 5v1 situation right there, but still you can see the damage of that Brave Bird against an opponent, and right now Renaissance is going to be able to secure that Rotom away for themselves, and Reach Pokemon's not going to be able to do anything about it, especially when they are outnumbered. Not everyone is on the top lane to help out, to try to, you know, diminish this push coming in from the side of Renaissance. And look at that, there's going to be 3 down into the side of Reach Pokemon with only their bongs taken down from the side of Renaissance. There's still a lot of heavy hitters right now for Renaissance, and Roto's going to be coming in, allowing them to score in with that of the 30 coming in from Blissey, and now Dream trying to take in some damage, going to try to deal some damage rather into the side of Renaissance, but with the help of the Hyperspace Hole, they were successful in getting away from Dream of that of the Venusaur, and right now I think the odds is on the favor of Renaissance to winning this game number 2.
And all that is going to be shown when the Zapdos does pop up, and we do see that Reach has to take it if they want to win. But even before that, it already looks like a dominant kind of lead coming from Reach Pokemon just on levels alone. But every time I see that, Kamiro just comes to the back and clears out everyone. I mean, look at that. The Duraludon almost knocked out. Jet is almost knocked out as well, with his entire team helping him. The Dreadnought is now theirs for the taking, as Renaissance now more or less have evened out the levels.
Yeah, and now we definitely we can see that Renaissance was able to secure that Dreadnought, you know, for themselves, and Reach Pokemon essentially giving it away in favor of having a better position against Renaissance. I think they're going to get punished for it, and that is what's happening right now. You know, they don't have the XP advantage, and Renaissance is essentially just eating them up. It's going to be a 2 for no, going to be 2, no, make the 3 for 2 trade right now in favor of Renaissance. Look at that, another hit here coming in with a pound. Oh, never mind, MXS is going to be taken down. That's going to be, you know, there's going to be a 4 KO, 4-player KO in favor of Renaissance. And Mavius, actually, I really like what they just did. You know, I really like what they just did.
I really
Mavius,
like it.
You know, with the Hoopa, they already know for a fact that they're going to be able to secure that. They're going to be able to secure their objectives. Well, the Zapdos is still there, right? The Zapdos is still there, but the moment that they were able to take down Reach Pokemon, essentially just allowing them to teleport, get them to score in. Now, even if Francis could take the Zapdos, it wouldn't be much of a problem because they can just score in anyway.
And they can even defend it should they choose to. So
I mean, they don't even
really
need, you know, they don't even need to defend this at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at this, what's going to happen here. They don't need to defend it because they're going to take all the KOs here, as we do see a complete wipe right there into that bush. 3 down on the side of Reach as they continue to wail onto that Venusaur. And the last one, JT, I don't even think he wants to walk it. He's going to attempt though, but I don't know if that's going to help. Ooh. As he is knocked by Kamiro into the next objective here, and Zapdos now wiped.
Yes, sirree, and that's what I'm saying. You know, like even if Reach Pokemon were able to get the Zapdos, since Renaissance already has a huge of a lead against Reach Pokemon, you know, they can essentially just widen it up. That even if Reach Pokemon can put in 500, it's not going to matter for Renaissance.
And we gotta look at the stats a little bit because not only the Talonflame coming clutch, but I'm pretty sure Talonflame did a good chunk of damage, got a good chunk of KOs as well. 11 KOs and 13 assists. Just with Brave Bird Aerial Ace alone. So the details here, we're looking at 125,000 damage on the side of the Talonflame. I mean, that's a monster of a bird. You know, maybe a phoenix, so to speak. I mean, he's definitely gone out from being KO'd into taking a 5 Pokemon wipe right there. Ace, just like that. So that might be the play. Bring a speedster into the forest.
And and that means, you know, thanks to that switch in with the Talonflame, right? With that Phoenix, so to say, that you mentioned. We're going to be we're going to be heading to the final match of this set of the grand finals. I don't think there has been a lot of there has been a lot of resets. You know, well, I mean, there were a lot of resets, you know, for the other regions on March Cup, but there wasn't a lot of.
We didn't get to see any of APEC. There's only one reset that happened.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, not all of them got into the final match. It's either
right.
the reset that getting a 2-0, but in APAC we don't do that way. We do it. We try to make the best
In
out
A-
of it. Take
in
everything.
APAC, we don't have a broadcast either.
Not yet. Until it
Not
happens.
yet.
Until it happens.
happens.
Until it happens. Hopefully, but we'll try to get as much footage that we can
Yeah,
in order to do something like this. Hopefully we can get what do you call this, the LCQ, AOS Cup LCQ.
We've got AOS Cup coming out. We've got April qualifiers coming up. There's so many things that are coming up that APAC and Oceania might get very soon. But we'll leave you with this for now as a teaser to what could be happening in the future. Who knows? When it finally happens, you'll thank us. Maybe we pioneered this.
Perhaps. I don't want to say anything definitive. Like when it happens, it happens. When it happens, it happens. But for now, let's not let's not have our viewers waiting. We're ready to view and see the see the final match, the final match of the reset, the final sixth match, right? The sixth match
Stop stalling.
of our grand finals. Don't you be calling me out, dude. Don't you be calling me out. But we're here now. Okay. We're here.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here. Final match. JJ, do you have any words going into this match?
Well,
Might be time to say some stuff.
well, see, it's going to be interesting, just like I mentioned in the last game. Like if the Talonflame would work against Reech Pokemon, then I don't think they would be changing their Pokemon up. And that's what happened. They're not changing anything up, and at the same time, Reech Pokemon, quite interestingly as well, is not going to be changing up their lineup, thinking they think that it still works. But let's find out together whether they're going to be winning this one up, or is Renaissance going to be able to take that one up. Without further ado, this is going to be the last game of our set. Let's have a champion time.
There we go. That's the JJ I know, as we are moving in for the last match here. No changes for the most part, except for the Talonflame switch initially that we had. So there's not much else to say, but we're gonna have to see how the bottom half is going to do and fare, because that's always going to be the start where Yang gets his Giga Drain into his Solar Beam, right? That's the first thing we're looking for.
Yeah, definitely. And allowing that Bulbasaur to essentially just get its spike into that at the bottom lane says a lot into that of the bottom path, rather. And it's actually going to allow the team to give the pressure up against the other team. And right now we're still going to be seeing some kind of a Ditto here, but we do have the Hoopa as well from the side of Renaissance into that at the bottom lane instead of the top lane. But we're gonna be seeing the 3-on-3 action to that at the top path, rather, now into that of the Beast, going in for the aerobics. Kamiru still doesn't have much of a damage here, compared to when it already has its Brave Bird. But right now, going to that at the bottom path, we're gonna be seeing the Dino here gonna be taken out by Reech Pokemon, actually, away from Renaissance.
And just a little bit of a upset at the bottom path here, but Rebong still has a lot going for him as he's able to make it back though. We are going to look into the map a little bit, as I do see a little birdie a little bit lost into the side of Reech Pokemon's central area.
And actually was able to take down the blue buff, violet buff as well, away from Reech Pokemon. But at the very least, Olims was able to see that, take note of that, and was able to just punch them and stealing away the buff that was stolen from their own central area.
Ooh, but also getting a knockout just like that, not too good, right? You're gonna return back all the EXP that you were trying to look for, and all well, I guess. But Dreamt now in the Ivysaur first before Renaissance. I mean, both sides, it looks like Reech has the upper hand in the early game. The early stages of it, going into the second set of Bs, might be looking more in favor to Reech. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see as the Beast, the second beast is going to be spawning in just 1 second. And here we go. Let's find out who's going to be able to take that one in. Definitely
here we go.
would need to get that XP. Unfortunately, Camilo with that of the Brave Bird going to be able to take most, if not all, of those bees from that of the bottom path. And now we're just going to be readying up into that other Dreadnought. Fortunately enough, the Venusaur for both of the teams here, Ivysaur still are still Ivysaurs rather. It's still not a Venusaur, so it's not going to be able to deal a lot of damage right here. But look at that. It looks like Rebon's going to be able to take down that Dreadnought. Unfortunately, for them, Rebongs, after taking out that Dreadnought, is going to be taken out as well. But at the very least, Renaissance was able to take down 3. Make that 4 Pokemon into the side of Reech Pokemon. So they already now have more than they already could have had with just the Dreadnought. But right now, it looks like Reech Pokemon is going to try to defend the bottom path. First year bottom path score goal right now to no avail, as JD is going to be taken out as well.
And never mind, the top lane as well. Taking on one more. Look at that. Look at that. Just a little bit more. Goes into the Sucker Punch into all of that clawing and gnawing, and nothing comes out of it. In fact, you know what comes out of it?
Oh,
a lost Rebong as he is knocked out.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's at the very least they were able to take down 1, but other than that, they're still at a huge disadvantage against Renaissance. And it looks like, with this kind of a lead, they don't, Renaissance didn't have this kind of a lead from the previous matches that we just saw, and it looks like we are just seeing the wake up version, the awoken Renaissance from the rather not from, but on the very last match of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they are doing surprisingly well, all things considered. They are almost picking a 9 average in terms of levels on the side of Renaissance, and that's really good because that means your Unite moves are online, whereas Reach average 8.
Yeah, and again, it's they didn't play this aggressive before, and now that they are playing more aggressive, against Reach Pokemon, it's like they're showing their true colors just now.
And that all said and done, though, they do want to try and make sure that EXP gap is going to stay like that. So that Dreadnought, you definitely want it, as Meavis does use his Rings Unbound, and in response to that, we do see a revolving rune into the Hyperspace Fury, and a lot of Unite moves coming out here into the Verdant Anger, but all I'm seeing is H3 is dropping on the side of Reach Pokemon, as bit by bit, they are getting Buddy Bear's heal back up, and Renaissance being picked one at a time. We already see 3 going down, 2 more left, the Blissey, and of course the Venusaur, but no, the Dreadnought gets taken out right there into the side of Reach Pokemon, and we lose the Blissey. Last one standing, Yang is going to try and help his teammates and return to the fight with them as they are going in, though they also lose once again 3 Pokemon inside of Reach, and I can't say anymore because that's the last one they're going to get with the Lucario and the last Hoopa.
That is, if the timing was right a little bit, that is going to be a team ace here for Team Renaissance. But, Blissey got to respond a little bit early. That's why it's not, well, technically not counted as well. But, it doesn't matter. We're going to be seeing Renaissance here having still a lead here in terms of XP and points here. Reach Pokemon still has a lot to, climb going against Renaissance. And again, just like the last game, their way of winning against Renaissance is if and only if they are going to be able to, if and only if they're going to be able to pick off Renaissance one by one. Because we can definitely see that if they try to fight off Renaissance, they're not going anywhere.
And right here, they are going to try and attempt to pick you up. But every time they do so, Kamiro comes from flying from the back, taking them out with his teammates. I mean, we saw Rebongs almost falling down, and what happened? What happened? Tell me, JJ, what happened?
It's man, it's just a huge opportunity for Renaissance, with that Talon Flame, Ryan, Nitera. That was a huge switch, and definitely with the switch in with of the Talon Flame, it's as if their entire gameplay changed as well. That Reach Pokemon just couldn't answer, and just like that, as you were saying, they were able to destroy the first tier score goal into that of the top path.
They picked the right Forester for the job. And now with that said, 1 minute left remaining, slowly counting down. Dreadnoughts at the back. Rebounds can go back with Yang to pick it up. And Yang, again, this time not with the Solar Beam as well. I mean, just to note that. So they have a strong bruiser on their side to boot. And with only 2 of them there, no one is going to be coming down for the Dreadnought. I think safe to say Rebongs and Yank have secured the Dreadnought for their team. And with 20 seconds more or less remaining for Zapdos, any last thoughts before I bring the fight in?
I mean, whoever wins the Zapdos is definitely going to be the one winning this game.
The champion, so to speak. But as we slowly get into it, I think it's time to bring forward a legend as the last fight ensues. The Verminator comes in, and we do see the Mevius, one and only with the rings unbound. Still very stable fight here, but the Midnight Slash is going to blow their HP a little bit more and clear their out. Drift is almost out for the count, but they are going to pick the JT into Lucario, and now, of course, bit by bit, they are falling. Lucario, Hoopa, Venusaur, Duraludon, last one remaining. The Blissey is wiped out, and we are going to see the final Zapdos fall onto the side of Renaissance. JJ, I think you're right to say that this last Zapdos is going to determine our winner, as Renaissance is marching forward to the last goal zones.
And that's going to be a surrender here for the side of Reech Pokemon. And there you go, guys. There's not much to say anymore. It is going to be Renaissance as your March Cup rather, Grand Champions. And likewise, we're still going to be seeing both of these teams, since they were able to reach, the top 2 spot for the March finals, they are going to be returning back for the AS Cup this coming May 7th and 8th.
6 and 7.
No, 7 and 8. Because 6 is a Friday. It's a Saturday, dude. What do you mean?
It's 6 and 7 for the North American people, which was our target audience.
No, it's 6 and 7 for them. When we are 7
and 8, yes.
Yes. Okay, we got that cleared up.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing them once again back on AS Cup at the 7th and 8th of May, and hopefully we do have a broadcast for that. Or if not, then we'll try to get a footage again, just like what we have with March Cup.
Excavate the image. We had to dig deep. But even then, if you want to see other Pokemon, European International Championship is going on. We're gonna have the
and we're going to see and we're going to be seeing Azumarill perhaps as well on the AS Cup, because Azumarill last time wasn't available to be used just because of the fact that it was 2 days old before the last chance qualifier.
Right. So, all that said and done, you can check out a lot of other things going on in Pokemon Unite community, as well as Pokemon in general. JJ, closing words.
Thank you.
Thank you. And as always,
that's all.
That's all for us.
That's all for us. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to have a broadcast for APAC and OCE in the future events. And if not, again, we're just going to try to dig deep and try to give you the action coming in from Asia Pacific and Oceania. Until then, we'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.